Hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Space Cowboy here with another video for you guys here today. And we made it to the NFL postseason, ladies and gentlemen. The Dallas Cowboys are set to host the Green Bay Packers on Super Wildcard Weekend this Sunday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I understand that when the Packers get mentioned, a lot of PTSD gets induced into a lot of Cowboys fans because of what happened in 2014 and 2016 in quick succession, relatively speaking. But what I'm here to do today is talk about the matchup that we have, what the Cowboys have to do to win, and what do I think is going to happen. So let's go ahead and start off with the matchup itself. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, like I just mentioned, they're hosting the Green Bay Packers this Sunday. And this is going to be the first time since 2016 that the Cowboys and Packers are playing each other in the postseason. This time, we have Jordan Love as the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers as opposed to Aaron Rodgers. So I think things are going to be a little bit different there. But also, this isn't a Green Bay Packers team where you can look at them and be like, okay, this is a team that can come in and beat Dallas handily. However, they are one of those stingy teams that have been around over the past couple of weeks. So, what's been the biggest thing that I have seen and others have talked about that the Cowboys can do to exploit the Green Bay Packers? It's as simple as this, their defense. They have not done well in run defense and covering over the middle. And we kind of saw over the past couple of days that the Cowboys are trying to get a run game going. And we got some semblance of it last week in Washington. Granted, Washington did not have a great defense. Of course, they traded all their defensive linemen away. But still, what I think factors into it as well is the Cowboys are home. They're not going on the road in inclement weather, which is a plus. And the fact is that when we look also from the Cowboys defense perspective, they're going up against a quarterback in Jordan Love in his first full year starting. And when you look at how he does against certain coverages and EPA and all these other statistics, with Dan Quinn, he typically likes to employ a cover one most of the time. And when you look at EPA and how he does, that being Jordan Love, he's been relatively okay. But when he's forced to scramble, contrary to popular belief, like, if he scrambles, he can make plays. He's like 31st in the league in, QBR with scrambling and things of that nature. So there are things the Cowboys can exploit against this Green Bay Packers team. However, the key thing is that they cannot sit back and let the Packers come in and strike early and keep the ball away. I think that a huge focal point for the Packers would be to try and get Aaron Jones going and not put as much pressure on Jordan Love to make big throws, which he can. And another stat that I saw where if you're looking to try and be someone that's gambling or trying to make a pick on this game, there was a stat that talked about quarterback debuts over the past however many years, like 23 years since the year 2000. And quarterbacks making their first playoff game debut, whatever you wish to refer to it as, are 27 and 50 something. I have to double check, but it's around that range. And I understand that the Packers are undefeated at AT&T Stadium. I understand that Dak has not beaten the Packers in the postseason. He's only beat them once in his rookie year. I understand that there's a lot of these things, but what I think makes this game a lot different for the Cowboys in this particular light is that they are a team that has a defense compared to the other two times we played the Packers. Because when you're talking about that quick succession, right, what happens is that a lot of people don't remember that the defenses for those two Cowboys teams were not good. They were bend, don't break, but when they broke, it was a hard sell to think that this Cowboys team was going to win. And you look at what happened on the road in Green Bay. The offense made a couple mistakes, but they were still in the game. And then you look at what happened in 2016, and aside from the defense letting Green Bay get up on you 21-3, the Cowboys offense did eventually come to play, and they got going. So where I think this game is going to be won is not from the Cowboys offense. Sure, that is a weakness on the Packers side of things. And apparently Jair Alexander got hurt in practice, so we're monitoring that. A.J. Dillon, who was a very big part of the run game for Green Bay, he's been out. Christian Watson, he's trying to work his way back. I think he might play. And so the Packers are dealing with a ton of injuries on their team. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys should not take these Packers lightly. You know, they're coming into the playoffs hot. Jordan Love's been playing very well. I'm not discrediting anything that the Packers are doing. I'm just reporting on what I'm hearing, seeing, and all that other stuff from other news outlets. But the key thing of all of this is that, to me, the Cowboys lose this game if they don't show up to play. I think that that's something that this Cowboys team needs to understand, is they can't take this stuff lightly. And I think that the team understands that with Mike McCarthy going through what he went through last year with the Packers. I think that they're going to take this game to heart and want to win it for him. Additionally, the media has been annoying, to say the least, when talking about this game. Now, I'm not saying that the majority of them are picking the Packers. However, there is a ton of them at the four-letter networks where it's like about 45% are like, this is the hot upset pick to beat the Cowboys and all this other stuff. But in reality, what I just want is just consistency. You know, if the Cowboys lose, they have no excuse. You know, they have a really damn good team. They would have wet the bed, and I'm probably just going to come on here and be like, hey, they blew their best shot. But if they win, like, they talk about how the Packers are young and, you know, coming into the playoffs hot. But if they lose, then it's going to be, oh, they're young and inexperienced, which that could play a factor. You know, I understand that Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I understand that they have a ton of players that are talented. I think, to me, this is as if the it's like the role reversal of the 2016 Cowboys-Packers game, where Dak Prescott being the young guy, inexperienced, and then, of course, you have, you know, a bunch of younger guys on that team. Granted, they were the home team against a veteran Packers team with a better coach. I think that the Cowboys, since their last matchup versus the Packers, have upgraded at coach. They've gotten a better quarterback, clearly, because he's grown. They have a not as good offensive line, but a decent offensive line, good offensive line. Their defense is a hell of a lot better. So I think that the Cowboys should be able to take care of business this Sunday and move on. Now, what do I think is going to happen? I think that it's going to go something like this. I think the Packers strike first. Everyone freaks the fuck out. And then the Cowboys come through and they win the game, you know, towards the end. So I'm going to pick a final score of 31-23. I think that the Packers put up a little bit of a fight, but the Cowboys are too much for them. And that's assuming the Cowboys come to play and how well they've been at home. You know, people talk about last year how when we went to go play the Buccaneers, oh, the Buccaneers, they're undefeated versus Tom Brady. They're undefeated against the Cowboys with Tom Brady, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever the fuck. I don't care about that. I mean, we played in the blue jerseys. We had Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. We were on the road. We haven't won a road play. Like, all this stuff. Man, we've been beating trends recently. And I expect that to continue. So I'm picking the Cowboys to win against the Packers. And we'll see what happens. You know, depending on how the game goes, then we'll have that conversation. But with that, tell me what you guys think about this game upcoming, your confidence level, all that stuff down below. I'll catch you guys after the game. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.